Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, 2004. Imagine a world with giant robots flying through the sky, where pilots are heroes, and everything feels like an exciting old comic book. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow is a fun, action-packed adventure with cool visuals that will take you on a wild ride from start to finish. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a film that's an absolute visual treat, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, 2004. This film isn't just a movie. It's like stepping into a wild adventure that feels like a comic book from the golden age of sci-fi. So, let's examine what makes Sky Captain so exciting. From its action-packed story to its jaw-dropping visuals. Trust me, if you love adventure, robots, and everything in between, you will want to stick around for this one. The basics of the story. Giant robots attack Manhattan, and it's up to Sky Captain and his team to stop the evil genius behind the chaos. The film opens with a bang. Giant mechanical robots attacking Manhattan. These aren't just your average robots. They're huge, lumbering metal giants that seem to walk out of a strange dream, stomping through the city, causing chaos everywhere they go. Civilians run for cover, and it's clear that this is not your typical Tuesday afternoon. Meet Joe, Sky Captain Sullivan, played by Jude Law. He's not your everyday hero. He's a freelance pilot with a heart of gold, ready to fight for justice and save the day. Joe's got his secret base, a private air force, and a science lab. It's like the guy has everything you need to tackle world domination. But who's behind all this destruction? The answer is Dr. Totenkopf, an evil genius hiding in the shadows, planning world domination for years. He's kidnapped some of the world's top scientists to help build his army of metal monsters. And now, it's up to Joe and his friends to stop him. Meet Polly Perkins, Gwyneth Paltrow, an ambitious, scoop-hungry reporter always looking for the next big story. She joins Joe on this wild ride, hoping to uncover the truth behind the mysterious Dr. Totenkopf and his sinister plans. The key characters. As the movie unfolds, you are introduced to a cast of fascinating characters, each with a unique strength. Joe, Sky Captain Sullivan, is the film's heart. Brave, quick-thinking, and always ready for action. He's like the classic swashbuckling hero, but with a futuristic twist. Then there's Polly Perkins, the fearless reporter. She's not just a damsel in distress. She's sharp, resourceful, and determined to get the story no matter the cost. Jude Law and Gwyneth Paltrow's chemistry is fantastic. Together, they make a perfect team, bouncing off each other with witty banter and heartfelt moments. But it doesn't stop there. We also get Frankie, Angelina Jolie, a tough-as-nails pilot with a mysterious agenda, and Dex Dearborn, Giovanni Ribisi, the tech whiz constantly coming up with cool gadgets to help the team. The characters might sound like typical action movie tropes, but in Sky Captain, they all feel like they belong to a much larger-than-life world. The visuals and technique, Sky Captain, mixes old-school style with futuristic visuals, making the whole movie feel like an action-packed comic book come to life. Let's discuss the visuals that make Sky Captain truly special. This movie is unlike anything you've seen before. It is shot using blue screens, and most of the environments and action sequences are created digitally. And the result? A jaw-dropping blend of old-school adventure and cutting-edge technology. The film's sepia-toned look gives it a nostalgic feel, like you're watching an old-school pulp comic come to life. It's a perfect mix of full-color vibrance and a vintage photograph's dreamy, hazy quality. If you're a fan of classic sci-fi covers and comic books, The production design will make you feel like you're in the pages of one of those old stories. What makes this even more impressive is how they pulled it off. Using a Macintosh computer, director Cary Conran created a 6-minute film that sparked the idea for the entire movie. He presented this to producer John Avnet, who saw the potential and helped bring it to life. The film's look is a mix of retro charm and futuristic imagination, making it one of the most visually stunning films of its time. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow doesn't just tell a simple action story. It invites you to explore an entire world full of mysterious places and intriguing characters. The movie plays with the idea of an alternate history where technology and futuristic dreams fascinatingly mix with the past. The design of the robots, the flying ships, and even the city of Manhattan are all stylized in a way that feels both familiar and entirely new. The giant robots are especially fun, like something out of a vintage sci-fi magazine, but with modern technology bringing them to life. Watching them stomp around the city is like witnessing a live-action comic book scene. And it's clear that Conran and his team had a blast bringing these monsters to life. But it's not just about the action. The story keeps you on your toes, with unexpected twists and turns that will make you grin and gasp. While the plot might seem like a typical save the world from evil story, it's the quirky characters, the thrilling action, and the visual spectacle that make it stand out. The heart of the film, at its core, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, is about adventure. It's about the thrill of the unknown, the excitement of flying high above the clouds, and the fight against evil. It taps into a sense of innocent wonder, reminding us of the days when anything seemed possible, when we imagined that science and adventure could solve any problem. The film has a contagious sense of joy and energy. It feels like a throwback to the adventure serials of old, where the good guys always fought for what was right, and the bad guys were always over the top in their villainy. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's one of its greatest strengths. The action is non-stop, but it's balanced with humor and heart, making for a movie that's as fun as it is thrilling. When Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow first hit theaters, people had mixed reactions, but most were impressed by its unique style and thrilling adventure. Audiences loved how it looked different from anything they'd seen before. The special effects, created mostly with blue screens and digital backgrounds, gave the movie a cool, almost magical feel. It felt like stepping into a comic book with giant robots, flying ships, and a retro-futuristic New York City. Many moviegoers were excited by how the film combined old-school adventure with modern technology. Fans of classic science fiction were especially pleased with the movie's look. The sepia-toned visuals made it feel like a throwback to old pulp magazines while still feeling fresh and new. The robots and flying vehicles were a huge hit, reminding people of the big, imaginative sci-fi stories from the past. The film's fast-paced action and quirky characters also kept everyone on the edge of their seats. Some people were confused by the story. The plot was simple: save the world from an evil scientist. But the fun wasn't in the story itself. It was more about the experience of watching something so visually exciting. For others, the movie's mix of old and new was a bit strange initially, but they soon realized how fun and creative it was. Overall, the reactions were positive. People appreciated how different Sky Captain was from typical action movies. It made them feel like kids again, watching a big, colorful adventure unfold on screen. Fans of adventure and sci-fi walked out with big smiles, ready to talk about the cool robots, flying planes, and non-stop action they'd just seen. Outro. So, there you have it. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. It's a movie that blends nostalgia, adventure, and visual flair in a way that still feels fresh and exciting, even all these years later. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's a wild ride from start to finish. And if you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more movie breakdowns and fun discussions. In the comments, what's your favorite scene from Sky Captain? Or do you have any other sci-fi gems you'd recommend? Until next time, take care and keep flying high.